to get into a story today. This is from the Great American News Desk. Feds admit dozens of undercover agents joined protesters at the Capitol on January 6th. This article was written by Paul Crespo, published April the 7th, so just a few days old. Federal local law enforcement reportedly, not repeatedly, I'm functionally retarded, so bear with me, folks, had at least 40 confidential informants, or CIs, also known as federal agencies as confidential human sources, embedded with the protesters and rioters at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. This, according to an attorney for one of the January 6 defendants, Dominic Pezzola. A member of the nationalist Proud Boys group, Pezzola is facing charges in federal court for allegedly conspiring to oppose the January 2021 transfer of presidential power and related charges by interfering with Congress certification of the Electoral College vote. His attorney says federal prosecutors kept critical evidence secret and belatedly admitted this bombshell just recently. Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but the guy with the horns from January 6th, after Tucker Carlson released his footage, apparently that guy was released from prison and he was going to serve like 1 to 3 years or something. So they're definitely been hiding the info, and they're releasing it, or they're not releasing it, but it's coming out ever so slowly. I wrote about this issue back in March when a video was released that showed undercover D.C. Metropolitan Police Department officers inciting the rioters to storm the Capitol. Many more videos are still sealed by the courts and kept from the public. The attorney's filing also noted some of these undercover Metro officers marched with the Proud Boys March. Some appear to have played roles as instigators, and that they are seen on body-worn videos chanting, "Go, go, stop the steal," and "Whose house, our house" on January 6th. Others generally followed demonstrators toward the Capitol. Now, while that video, part of which was posted on Rumble, shows 3 members of the MPD's Electronic Service Unit acting as protesters and inciting the crowd, new information reveals that MPD and the feds may have had dozens of undercover informants there that day. Now, this is something that we've been saying the entire time, that the initial chaos was either started by Antifa or FBI instigators. We don't know that for sure, of course. So YouTube, this is my opinion. We have to couch it for the pussies doing fact checks at YouTube. But yeah, this is what we've been saying from the jump. The dudes that were breaking the windows in the front were Antifa. The crowd was literally yelling, "Stop Antifa, shut down Antifa." And CNN even hosted a well-known Antifa guy on their January 6th coverage, like the day after. All super stoked to get raw inside footage. And the dude they hosted, not a Trump supporter, definitely Antifa guy. Yeah, definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. All right, where were we on the report? So, Daily Caller is reporting Pezzola's lawyer, Robert Root, said federal prosecutors admitted Tuesday that 8 FBI confidential human sources were embedded among the Proud Boys on January 6. In his Wednesday court filing, Root said Homeland Security investigators, HIS, part of the Department of Homeland Security, appears to have some 19 informants active at the time. That means that the largest number of federal CHSs on January 6 didn't even belong to the FBI, but instead were from the Department of Homeland Security. Roots added that in addition to all these federal CIs, at least 13 undercover plainclothes DC Metro police agents worked among January 6 defendants that day, one more than originally revealed. That's a lot of local police undercover officers and federal confidential informants for one protest. And who knows how many more may have been there in other capacities. This is absolutely bonkers, folks. This is absolutely bonkers. All right, in the filing, Root argues that Pizzola submits the entire defense in his trial, including the opening, the cross, and the defense case, would have been different and much more aggressive if the defense counsel had known of the scope and scale of undercover government operations on January 6. Prosecutors made arguments contrary to information they possessed and withheld, and the defense counsel could have lodged different cross-examination and direct examination questions if they had known of these materials. So basically, the defense is arguing that they would have went with a different strategy had they had known this information up front, or had the information been known to the courts up front. Because obviously, they probably knew about this. Everybody's known about it. But knowing and being able to use it are two different things, especially legally. But Roots concludes that, noting that the United States is refusing to provide information which obviously has a high likelihood of being exculpatory. He adds that defendants are entitled to this information, and accordingly, Pizzola asks for any order compelling the United States to provide the names, identities, and reports of the HSI confidential informants operating at or near the Capitol or around the Proud Boys on January 6, 2021. Interesting stuff. So Paul Crespo, managing editor of American Liberty Defense, served as a Marine Corps officer and military attaché to the Defense Intelligence Agency, or DIA, at the U.S. embassies worldwide. So that's the guy who wrote the article. So he's not a nobody. He does have some insight into what he's talking about. And yeah, this is just more confirmation of what we've known. What we've known. We can't go into too much. I can't really give my detailed opinion because we are still on YouTube. And YouTube's full of pussies. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I appreciate you guys stopping by for that story. Let me know what other stories that we should check out or follow up on. Links are in the description if you want to help support the channel. And we are live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 3:30 to 5:30 on Rumble. Rumble.com/McClures if you want to come hang out. I appreciate you guys stopping by for that.